Mom, you're welcome. That was...
Yeah, for a person to be married to somebody that committed adulthood, and then that person supposedly find a shoebox, disclose the contents of the shoebox with the entire world, then read that your loving husband's journal, private personal journal, and then share the contents of that with the world, that's very difficult to believe that you have any interest in protecting his legacy. And do you like what you see in the mirror? A liar, a narcissist? You leverage Stephen's death to elevate yourself.
That I spoke, I was hit more, buried more, or despised more, and then had calculated visions and circulations of systems that spun me up and out of the system that would in any way challenge the fact that she was not telling her own truth, but another's. Why do you think she tried to put me in an institution, folks? I called my mother. Guess what? 2 people who wanted more than anything to have my truth buried. It was not my timing. I did not and could not ask God for what that would be. All I could do was stay on my truth, do what I was doing, and study this thing called love that we tried to bury. And now I am up and out of the ground. And unfortunately, those 2 women could not shut me down.
The authorities have chosen to examine tWitch's case after he passed away over 3 years ago, and they discovered some irregularities in his death. As it happens, Allison Holker, his wife, fabricated the fact that he was genuinely unalive in order to empty his bank account as soon as he left. It gets much more bizarre though. It seems that Allison was not the only one who did this. She allegedly collaborated with Diddy and Ellen DeGeneres. Even worse, a few months ago, Allison attempted to stall the investigation by promoting the idea that tWitch was a D addict. People began making fun of Allison as soon as tWitch passed away, but it only became worse when she published her book This Far, in which she essentially made the decision to discredit tWitch and destroy his name by making some outrageous claims that he was addicted to D. She stated that she discovered mushrooms, tablets, and other drugs concealed inside tWitch's shoeboxes a few days after his death when organizing their closet to choose an outfit for his funeral.
There was a moment I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone. Because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain. But it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have...
As if this were not terrible enough, she also disclosed that he had been viciously sexually assaulted by an older guy while he was a child, which left him mentally damaged till his death. Remember, tWitch did not want anyone to know about his childhood tragedy, therefore he never disclosed any of this while he was still living. However, Allison was more focused on gaining as much influence as possible to sell her book, therefore she did not give a damn about that. Furthermore, according to Radar Online, Allison petitioned the court to give her half of Witch's fortune as soon as he passed away. She was essentially arguing that she helped him build everything he had because he did not have much before they met. According to the petition, tWitch owned only personal effects of little value. His net worth on the date of marriage was nil. There are no written agreements between tWitch and Allison providing for a non-pro rata division of the aggregate value of the community property. You would think that she would leave some cash for his bereaved family, but she was back in court, this time demanding half of his assets. In the midst of all of this, people began investigating Ellen DeGeneres to see if she was also connected to tWitch's death. Indeed, they discovered numerous clues that suggested she might have been involved, along with some proof that she might have attempted to persuade her to freak off with Diddy. Before all of this chaos, Ellen and Diddy were quite close. Rumor has it that she received numerous opportunities in the industry and invitations to all of those freak off events. However, it was not all free. She was among those tasked with recruiting. for Diddy's freak-offs in exchange. It seems that she also attempted to include Twitch in it.
You're welcome. That was...
This is where it gets fascinating though, because Diddy and Ellen publicly discussed the freak-offs on Ellen's show in one of the episodes, and despite her best efforts, she did not seem all that surprised. She even acknowledged at one time that she was aware of the parties, but she soon realized her mistake and took it back, claiming that she was aware of them because he frequently rapped about them in his songs. What a falsehood.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them. I listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party.
As additional research was done on Ellen, it became clear that she had a lengthy history of making individuals vanish, and this was not the first time. Shortly after she revealed her, Anne Heche, her ex-girlfriend, passed away in a horrific manner. Get this, everyone. She passed away on August 11th, 2022, about 4 months before DJ Twitch was discovered dead as well. Many people believe that Ellen was the one who ended their relationship before she passed away, but she disclosed in a podcast she recorded a few weeks before that she was the one who done so because Ellen had sold her soul to the industry. She claimed that there came a time when Ellen's only concern was increasing her income regardless of the terms involved. I broke up with her because her goal was to have a lot of money. Mine was to find love, and hers was, I want $60 billion. Good luck. Our forks are never gonna meet. The further we stay on this, the further we'll be apart. She also claimed in the same podcast that Ellen had tried to get her placed in a mental health facility and had worked extra hard to get her banned after she left.
That I spoke, I was hit more, buried more, or despised more, and then had calculated visions and circulations of systems that spun me up and out of the system that would in any way challenge the fact that she was not telling her own truth, but another's. Why do you think she tried to put me in an institution, folks? I called my mother. Guess what? 2 people who wanted more than anything to have my truth buried. It was not my timing. I did not and could not ask God for what that would be. All I could do was stay on my truth, do what I was doing, and study this thing called love that we tried to bury. And now I am up and out of the ground. And unfortunately, those 2 women could not shut me down.
She suffered many second-degree burns throughout her body in a deadly car accident shortly after disclosing this information. Before first responders arrived on the scene, she was stuck in her burning automobile for 30 minutes. Reports state that the hospital admission blood showed the presence of benzoylecgonine, the inactive metabolite of which means she used it in the past, but not at the time of the crash. Whew, the streets were undoubtedly talking and everyone was giving her the side eye, but I am not suggesting Ellen did it. Returning to Allison and her slanderous book about tWitch. Whatever it was that she was concealing, it was significant enough that she made them sign that NDA. Courtney Ann, another of his cousins, also accused her of being unclean in a lengthy post that stated, "This is by far the most tacky, classless, opportunistic act I have ever seen in my entire life. We all had to sign some weird NDA to attend his funeral, even his own mother, who you've treated like garbage this entire time. And let's just remember, you wouldn't have even had a husband if it wasn't for her. Not to share anything or ruin his name, as if that was on anyone's mind in the first place. And here you go and write a book with all the dirty laundry, smearing his name and attempting to dim the bright, loyal, loving light that was your husband, my friend." Comfort, a friend of tWitch's, reported Courtney's tweet and stated, "Lies and fairy tales. Steven said this to me in my dreams when he passed. Nothing is what it seems. You are an evil woman and completely disgusting. How dare you try to destroy my brother's name?" In a post, the well-known filmmaker, who was also Twitch's friend, accused Allison of being the real addict. She is attempting to blame him for what she was apparently doing when Twitch was alive. You are the one that was messing with Molly and X. I have all the proof. You're a toxic woman, and I truly believe he would still be alive had he not been married to you. All the tea is eventually spilled, and Allison is obviously involved in a number of things. As usual, everyone has their own opinions, such as this individual who stated, "As soon as I saw Ellen and Diddy was aligned, I immediately thought he saw something he shouldn't have or wanted out, and the Illuminati him." Another individual stated, "No one will ever know the truth. It is just so tragic. Twitch seemed like such a sweet person and tremendously talented. Now though, I would want to hear your opinions. How do you feel about Allison being found out for contributing to tWitch's demise? And do you guys think Twitch was dead?" Please share your opinions in the space provided below, and remember to click here to view this additional nasty video.